In this module, we will be going in depth into the Strong Interest Inventory. This assessment is a different piece of the decision-making process. While the MBTI focused on personality, the Strong Interest Inventory focuses on your interests and the fit between your interests and people in various careers. It is important to note that this assessment is measuring interests and fit, not your skills and abilities. Keep in mind that the reason you take multiple assessments is that each serves a different role in your self-exploration process and your decision-making. I want to provide you a little background to understand this assessment. This assessment has actually been around since the 1920s, and what sets it apart is that it defines and incorporates your interests and the fit between your interests and the interests of people who are satisfied in various careers. This assessment was the life work of E.K. Strong, a career theorist. Later, in the 1970s, John Holland, another career theorist, incorporated the term RIASEC as a certain framework. These concepts and the term RIASEC will make more sense as we progress throughout this module. This assessment, the Strong Interest Inventory, is continually being researched and updated, with the most recent revision being completed only about 5 years ago. To better understand how to apply this assessment to your life, let me explain the basics of John Holland's theory. His theory is that when we are young, the activities that we participate in are influenced by our environment and our interests. And as you participate in these activities, you get feedback, both internally, such as how you feel when you complete activities, and externally from folks, including friends, family, and teachers. Over time, you choose activities that reflect your interests. Many of us have tried a variety of activities and interests. Some we connect well with and we gain satisfaction from, and others we learn we don't enjoy and we tend to gravitate toward different activities. The Strong Interest Inventory helps you compare the interests that you have developed to majors and careers. There are a lot of reasons that people take the Strong Interest Inventory, including making decisions on their careers, making their current jobs more interesting, and searching for extracurricular activities and developing hobbies. Before we take a look at your scored results, I want you to do some self-reflection so we can later compare your estimated results to your scored results. John Holland's theory is that you can describe your interests, work activities, potential skills, and personal values in 6 general themes. They are realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Combined, these 6 areas are referred to as the RIASEC code, using the first letter for each. So if you look up here, for example, the R stands for realistic, the I for investigative, the A for artistic, the S for social, the E for enterprising, and the C for conventional. Included in this visual is a very quick description of each theme code. For example, by realistic, it says the doers, people who prefer physical, rugged, hands-on activities. Remember that this assessment is looking for fit, and that work environments are formed by the people in them, not by the tasks that are done. This is important because it's the basis of the coding of the Strong Interest Inventory. We naturally search for, quote-unquote, our people, people who share our interests. For instance, social helpers typically like to do caring and supportive tasks. Even if the social helpers are in more conventional environments where they have to do practical tasks, they still create a social and helping environment. The theory also says that the categories next to each other on the hexagon have overlapping characteristics. So for example, the S and the E are going to have overlapping interests. The categories opposite each other, for example, the social and the realistic, are very different. Some of you may find that your interests overlap, and others will find that your interests are quite opposite. Opposite interests are sometimes satisfied in two ways. First, through a career, and secondly, through a hobby or extracurricular activity. Most people's interests and most work environments are made up of two or sometimes three of these RIASEC letters. So for example, as you try to categorize your interests, you might be thinking the social, the enterprising, and perhaps the artistic as well. The next two handouts we will review to help you self-assess your RIASEC code are also available for download in this assignment. In this handout, you will self-assess your RIASEC code. Listed on this form are 6 rows, each beginning with one of the letters of the RIASEC code. R for realistic, for example, is the first row. I want you to review that entire row, looking at the are you and the different characteristics, can you, the different activities, and do you like to, and again, kind of different interests here. I want you to review that entire row, circling or highlighting the words or phrases that apply to you. Once you're done with this first row, I want you to go down to the second row and then go all the way through each 6 rows, continuing the same process. When you have completed each row, I want you to visually just kind of step back, take a look at the page, and see which row has the most words or phrases highlighted or underlined. So you might see, for example, that your highlighting and underlining is mostly, in terms of which row has the most, is in the letter E for enterprising. If that's the case, I want you to put that letter, E for enterprising, right there in number 1. Then take a look through and determine which would be your second highest interest and also your third, and put the corresponding letters next to number 2 and number 3. Later, when we review the scored results, we can compare your estimated scores to your scored results. I want to show you one other handout. This provides you a quick overview of each RIASEC letter. In a lot of cases, the slogans next to each letter ring very true for people. Next to realistic, for example, is the slogan, "Just do it." Since individuals with realistic interests often enjoy practical, hands-on work and activities, the "Just do it" slogan is often a great fit. Review each of the 6 paragraphs to gain both an introduction to this assessment and also to further evaluate and review your estimated results on the previous page to best determine if those letters, the RIASEC letters that you picked earlier, still feel like a good fit for you. To complete this particular assignment, I simply want you to send me via Canvas your estimated 3-letter RIASEC code. So you can simply click on Submit Assignment, and you can just click on the text box and you can send me your 3 letters. So it might be RIA or ASE, for example. Once you've done that, please go on to the next assignment in this module so we can review the scored assessment results.